Hi there, and welcome to another tutorial video by me. Alright, I've done this so far. I've I was thinking of maybe I would take a break on all of the assignments and quizzes that I was trying to do. The minor parts, like the little parts where you just extrude stuff. This is a bit more into the advanced area or into the intermediate area, wherein you have revolve loft base and some other stuff and creating planes on this one. So, yeah, let me just tell you about what I did here. So this is an assembly of a Trent 900 engine. So yeah, I was tasked to do the engine for an Airbus A380, which is the Trent 900, right? And in this engine, it's not yet complete, as you can see. This still needs a lot of work, right? But I'm already done with the engine nacelle, as you can see here. The fan, the low pressure compressor, and I think this is called the low pressure turbines. Altogether, that's the spool. This area right here is spool. I don't know. I haven't really studied anything about engines yet, but I am making one in CAD. I still need a few more things like high pressure compressor, high pressure turbines, as well as a casing for my engine, and some other stuff here. I don't know, a lot of things. So it's not yet fully complete, but I thought I would make a tutorial video of this because a couple of my friends, I reached out to them and I offered them my help. And so in doing that, I want this video to be dedicated to them, you know? So instead of making an Airbus A380 engine, the Trent 900, I thought I would make the engine for the Boeing 777 300, which is the CMF 56, if I'm not mistaken. So the CMF 56 is quite different from the Trent 900 because the tip of the fan is not pointy. It's a little bit on the side of a circle, right? And the engine nacelle is not as circular as it would be. Somewhere around here, it would be flat. So yeah, enough talk. I'll just show it to you guys. Don't save. So I'll show you guys some of the reference photos that I have for the engine that I'm doing. So this, right, is the top view. This is the right view, right? As well as this is the insides of the aircraft. You might not be able to see it. I'll show you guys my, oops. I'll show you guys this part. Here, figure 4. Right, so this is what we're going to be doing for the fan, right? They wanted it to be easy, so I might not be able to go and make the compressors and the combustion area. Instead, I'll be focusing more on the fan and the spool and the low pressure area here. So no casing for this tutorial. But for this particular video, I will be making the engine nacelle first. So let's start off with that. Let's go and make the part here. So let's create a new part. And let's select the right plane. We'll sketch on that and we'll set that as our, right, okay, it's already set as normal. And from there, we are going to sketch picture. Now my sketch picture is over here because I'm lazy. But for you guys that didn't put a sketch picture in this tab, right, you will have to go to tools. So in this area, the triangle there, go to tools, go to sketch tools, and from sketch tools, click the drop bottom, keep going down, select sketch picture. Right, so we're gonna select sketch pictures, and we're going to select our reference photo, which is the right photo, the right side of the photo, right view. Alright, so as you can see, the photo's already here. We're just going to select OK. No, actually, let me delete the enable scale tool. Right? Select OK. And then from there, we exit sketch. You can always come back to that sketch later. And then we create another sketch on the right plane again. right? And then from there, we are going to select center line. Oops, center line. Start from the origin, extend it horizontally, right? It doesn't matter how long it is, because we are still going to define it. So on this one, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, a CFM56 engine of an Airbus, no, of a Boeing 777-300 is 400, is 4 meters, 4.96 meters. So that's 4,960. Hey, by the way, I didn't just pull that out of my head. I actually did the calculation before because we do have dimensions over here. All right, so I just added all of this 0.93 plus 1.3 plus 1.2 plus 0.33 plus 1.2. They all add up to 4.96 meters. All right, so I did you guys a favor and I did the math. Wait, is it? 0.93, so 1, 2, 3. Is that? I'm really confused now. Oh, wait. Yeah, it still has the 1.2. Yeah, that's 4.96. So now, we are going to set this as 4.9. Oh, no, not 4.96. We're going to select this as 4960. Because it's in millimeters, right? So 4960. Right? That is for the dimension of our center line. So not the dimension of our picture. From there, we are going to double click our picture, right? Select our picture, and then scale it up according to the 4960, right? So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to, if you can see here, there's a center line there, the line there. I'm just putting it there roughly. I'm eyeballing it. Yeah. So that, and then this part, there you go. So yeah, it's not as precise as I'd like it to be. Actually, you know what? We can still change that a bit. Oops. It moved by a bunch. Alright, so keep it there. Okay. Oops. Control Z that. Oh wait, no, you can't. Alright, so let me just do that. Yeah, that's good enough, right? That's good enough. So that's roughly 4,960 millimeters, right? So 4.96 meters. So that's what I did. I just increased it and basically made sure that the endpoints of my center line is in line with the endpoints of my picture, right? So from there, I click OK. And now I select, no. I go to sketch again. So while still in sketch, wait, we're still going to be sketching on this line, on the center line. While still there, we are going to select spline. Oops, should I select spline? I'm really confused now. No, we should not select spline. Alright, so we're going for a line instead, right? And we are going to trace this part right here. So we want it until here. So this is just our rough, right? So we're going to start here from the end there, extend it horizontally, probably in the most thickest region of this engine. Probably, let's say, somewhere around here. Not the most thickest, but like a reasonable height. And then from there, we're going to select spline. Select the points that are. Remember, we want as much as possible to lower our points when it comes to spline. Alright? So now with that, we have a spline point there. It's not yet there, right? But we can move it around. Alright? So we can move it around. If you're wondering how am I able to have these points, like these arrows, it's simple. All you have to do is go to options. From options, click on view. Oh wait, no. Wait, let me just think about it. Display, on display. Sketch. There you go. So on options, go to sketch and then click enable spline tangency and curvature handles. So again, go to options, system options, under sketch, select enable spline tangency and curvature handles. Check that. Alright, so once that's checked, click OK, and you're gonna get these. Right? From there, what we're going to do is we're going to use those handles to just drive our spline in, you know. Be smooth about it, just smoothen it out. Right, there you go. Most of these stuff are just eyeballing it, so there's no precise, there really is no precise way of doing this. It's just a matter of using skill and common sense. Oops. Right. Oops. There you go. So now it's there, right? Right? Yeah, that's pretty good. So in this one, I just used 1, 2, and 3 points. Not bad. That really is not bad. All right, cool. So from there, okay, so you're probably wondering why I put this line there and not here, right? So I extended it somewhere there so that I can have something over there. Select a vertical line there, and then select the spline again. And then we're basically just going to do this. There you go. Right. So I used a spline, straight line, vertical, horizontal straight line, vertical straight line, and then another spline all the way to the back. And we are going to align that accordingly so that these lines are somewhat parallel to that spline over there. Right, so that seems pretty good. Right. Just as long as you get this shape, it doesn't. I don't really care if you screw it all up. Just as long as this shape is met, right? So once that's done, we're going to close it. Right? Select it, close it there, and probably just move it around until it hits the edge. All right. So there you go. That's our profile number 1. Now, you could be lazy, right? You could be lazy and just click feature and then revolve boss base, right? And there you go. If I click revolve boss base, you have your engine, right? That's pretty good. But the thing is, it's not really precise to the drawing, as you can see. And this is not the engine nacelle of a 777, because the engine nacelle of a 777 looks different. It looks somewhat retarded, as I would say. Nope, not that one. It looks somewhat retarded in the way that, let me just open up my and I'll show it to you guys. So if you're gonna look at here in the front view, it's a circle, right? It's a perfect circle. But in truth, the engine for the Boeing 77 is flat on the bottom, right? Wait, where is it? 777. Oof, wait, no. Oh, wait, no, sorry. This was a mistake. It was 737. Oh my goodness. Yeah, CFM56. Yeah, 737 300. I kept saying 777, but in truth, it's actually 737. So if you're gonna look here, this is the engine that we're trying to copy. The engine in this one is a bit retarded because the bottom of the engine is not in a circular shape. It's sort of flat, right? So let's try and achieve that shape, right? We'll keep that in mind. So it's not a perfect circle. Right? I'm just going to turn off my internet connection so that this will be easier and faster. So what we're going to do is we're just going to delete that revolve command or that revolve feature, right? And then from there, we are going to start another sketch on the right plane, right? So we already have one sketch, which is the top reference, the top profile. Now we're going to make the bottom profile, right? So let's do that again. Select this one. Make sure that right now, just delete that. No, it's already shown. I want this to be vertical to that one. So we just select this and make them vertical, right? So that's done there. Then click another spline. So for this one, I'm going to be using 3 spline points, right? Because this part here is a bit sharp. Oops, just made that there. This spline point is a bit sharp, so I want it to be over here. And then from there, we are just going to we're just going to eyeball it, basically. Oops, 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 oops. Right, that's pretty good. Yeah, it doesn't really have to be exactly on the line, right? So, what are we gonna do? There. Create another vertical line there, and then just select this and back. And move this around so that it will be somewhat similar to this curve right here, right? And there you go. I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty good profile to follow. We'll select this and select that. Oops, no. We're going to delete that. Move that there, and there you go. Voila. That's your profile number 2. That's your bottom profile. So we got our sketch. So our sketch 1 is our reference photo, our sketch picture. Our second sketch is the top profile reference, and then the sketch 3 is our bottom profile reference. We're gonna be using that later for the lofting, right? So once that's done, now it's time to move on to the top plane. So we sketch on the top plane, right? We make sure that that is our normal. We just change that. All right, so there you go. That's our picture, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to select the center line of our bottom picture. No, we're not going to select that. We're going to, so now that we're in the sketch mode for the top plane, we're going to enter a sketch picture. This time we're going to take the top reference photo, which is this one. So this is Pow Up. Oh, by the way, the name of my friend is Pow, so shout out to that guy, right? When it comes up, it will be like this, so it will be vertical. So in order to fix that, what we can do is change the degrees to 90, and there you go. It's now horizontal. It is now landscape, right? So we click exit sketch again. So that's sketch number 4 is our top reference photo. Now we're going to select the top plane again and sketch on it again, right? We are going to select the center line. Oh, by the way, so that we won't be confused by the drawing downstairs, we are going to hide all of them. right? So now it's only us. It's only the top lane. So we are going to select, wait, sketch number 5, right? So we're in the sketch number 5. Select center line. Starting from the origin, extend it horizontally. It doesn't matter what length, because we are still going to define it. So the dimension for that again is 4960. Right, so as you can see, it extended, and we're gonna do the exact same thing that we did from before. Right there. Oops, I made a mistake. Should be up here. All right, now that once that's done, right, it's already scaled up. We are going to select sketch again, and we are going to copy the profile again of this. Right, so select here. Still edit sketch, right? Now we select sketch number 5 again, edit sketch, right? So where we drew the line, that's where we want to sketch. So we're going to select the straight line from the tip, extend it horizontally to where you think it would be appropriate to have. Oh wait, no, No, this time, okay, so the thing is we don't, right, escape this. Remember how I told you to hide the sketch 2 and 3? Yeah, we want it to be shown this time, right? So we show it again. And we basically want this point and the point that we're making here to be aligned, right? So how are we going to do that? Good thing that SolidWorks is pretty intuitive when it comes to these things. So we're going to do this, and we're going to wait for the line to pop up. If it pops up. If it doesn't, then we're fucked. Oh, we're screwed. Why am I swearing? Alright. So you gotta think. Alright, exit dimensions. So no, exit sketch. So now we're just going to exit sketch, select dimensions, right? And we're going to take the dimensions of that. So that's 88.5.41. Click OK. And that's going to be the length of our line there. So we're just going to get back on sketch number 5. Wait, let me just go back to sketch number 5, which is this line here. Oh wait, no. Alright, so we are just going to get back to sketch number 5, which is the latest sketch that we did for this horizontal line. Alright, and then from there we're going to select the vertical line. Right? And then select that, and we want it to extend it no matter how far you want, because we're still going to define it. And the definition for that line is, exit sketch, 885.41. 885.41. So do this. 885.41. Alright, so now it's there. So now with this point right here, the point here is aligned with the point here, right? So that's what we want, because later on you'll see. Now we're going to select spline again, select this point, right? And we are just basically going to trace it again, kind of like the one that we did before. Right, so select 1, 2, and 3 spline points. there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there you go. That's your spline line over there. And then from this one, select line again. And then we're just going to create a vertical line that again has the same, should have the same dimension as this line. This line. So we're just going to go back to sketch number 2. So exit sketch, right? So we're going to go back to sketch number 2. And, oh wait, no. Sketch number 3, so that we can select them both. So we want this line and this line to be equal, right? And we are going to, so wait, no. We are going to select and find out their dimension. So this line's dimension is 105.42, right? So keep that in mind, 105.42. Exit sketch, and let's go back to our most recent sketch, sketch number 5. Press spacebar and go back to it. So that's 105.42, right? So select the vertical line, it doesn't matter what length, and we're going to give it a dimension of 105.42. 105.42. There you go. So that's your line over there. And we're going to select another spline. And basically just extend it all the way to the back and copying our similar spline. So just look for that point there, point here, right? Select a vertical line, join that together, and there you go. That's your right. That's your right reference profile. Again, we're going to select top plane, sketch, and from the sketch, we are going to select this point. We are just going to align it to that point. Doesn't matter how. So now the beauty of this is that once this line is defined, it already has a dimension. We can just select this point and say that they are vertical, right? Oops, I think I screwed up. Control Z. I think I screwed up. So this needs to be vertical. But every time I do that, it just fucks it up. Okay, I don't get it. Oh. Alright, that seems reasonable. I don't get it. Alright, so again, we can set the relations as vertical. Remove the horizontal part. Oh, wait, no, I get it. Okay, so the reason why it's doing that is because we don't have a center line. So if we select a center line here, extend it all the way there, I think, and then we click line, we make sure that our line is aligned with the center line over there, right? This and this to be vertical. Oof, it really doesn't work. I wonder why. It worked for me last time. So yeah, I guess we could just eyeball this, probably. Right? Fine, then let's just keep that as horizontal. There you go, so it won't be able to extend. Select this and this as horizontal. Right. So now this has the same length as this, right? This line has the same length as this line. So that's pretty good. Or you know what? I'm pretty stupid. I could have just done this, select that, and select this, and make them equal. Alright, so anyways, that's so much stuff that I was talking about. Anyways, so we're going to select spline. From spline, select this point. Again, this is pretty sharp, so we're going to give this 4 points. 4 spline points, right? To make it easier for us as well. So we're going to select this point over here, and just basically extend it until we get the desired shape. There you go. That's your desired shape there. Oops. Now, yeah, there you go. So that is our desired curve, right? Let's create another vertical line here, over there. And we are going to set that and this line as equal. There you go. So it became a little bit smaller. Again, we'll use a spline tool, and we're just going to connect it to that point over there. So we want this, and we want this to have pretty much the same curvature as this point over here. Okay. There you go, and select line, and we are going to combine that line and that line together. And now let's set the relation of this line and this line and make them equal. There you go. So that is your left reference reference profile. Right? So now if we remove the sketches or hide the sketches, you will have this profile over here. It's pretty neat, right? Pretty neat. Yeah, I like it. Absolutely like it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a loft boss base, right? So if we're going to loft this, selection manager, we're going to select a closed point there. This point here. Oops. Selection manager. Right. That point there. Selection manager. That point there. Right. So if we are going to create a loft boss base on this one, and then select all the profiles so that it would be circle, right? It won't do that, as you can see here. See, the features could not be created because it would be self-intersecting in geometry. Meaning that if I loft this part, some part of it will be tangled on its own strings. So as you can see here, it has a preview. This is what it would have looked like, right? It would look something like that. But then we don't want this, right? We want this to have a curve, right? So we don't want this. So now we're going to delete this. We are going to make, now this is the tedious part. We are going to create planes, right? To create planes, oh, and by the way, this engine nacelle, I think this would need one plane here, plane number 1, plane number 2, plane number 3, 4, and then 5. So all of, in total, this aircraft nacelle, or engine nacelle, needs 5 planes. In order to create a plane, we are going to create, we're going to press here in the reference geometry, select plane, right? Our first reference would be the front plane, right? We're going to select front plane, and our second reference will be the tip, the point here. Okay, and then select OK. So that's our plane number 1. And then from there, we are going to select reference geometry again. Okay, and then we are going to select this plane as our first reference. And our second reference, on the second reference over here, we are going to select the point here. So it's crucial that you guys followed what I did, right? When I said that this required four spline points, right? So we are going to select this point over here, right? And click OK. And again, let's create another plane. And then from that, we are going to make 4, 5, 6. We are going to select this point over here. Click OK there. The top point over here, right? And then from there, click another reference geometry plane. Our fourth point, sorry, our first reference would be plane number 3. Second reference would be this point here. Click OK. Reference geometry again. Select plane. So it's already selected the first reference for us as plane number 4, and then the second reference we'll be selecting is this point over here. Right. And there you go. That right there, friends, is our engine. So now what we're going to do, we are going to sketch on these planes one by one, right? Thankfully, the engine for the 737 doesn't have any sort of angle towards it. If you're gonna look at the right reference, so let's show this. As you can see here, the line here, it's cut. Like the engine is cut in a straight line. It's not angled. If you're going to look at some engines, so for example, the engine for the A320, for example. As you can see here, the engine for the A320, it's cut over here, right? It's cut in an angle over there. But thankfully, for the engine nacelle of the 737, it's cut vertically. So that's good. It helps us deal with it easier. So now we're going to go to plane number 1, and we're going to select sketch. From there, we are going to select the spline tool, right? So plane number 1, sketch, and then we're going to select spline tool. From there, we are going to create a 4-point spline circle, or 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? 5, 4. Right. So that's a 4-point, right? It doesn't matter how large it is or how small it is. Just as long as we click on this point here, hold Control, and then select the line here on top, and click Pierce. Right? Good? All good? And then again, we do that here. Select this point here. Select this line here. Oops. Let's just hide the picture so that it won't be on our way. Select this point here. Select this curve here. And select Pierce. Right? Again, do the same here. Select this curve. Hold Control the whole time. Press this. Press that. Select Pierce. Right. There you go. So that, my friends, is our first. Oops, it looks kind of retarded. I wonder why. Is this not aligned properly? Right. We're just going to troubleshoot a little bit of it. This is the top view, right? And this is the front view, right? I am confused. Because this doesn't look right, right? It doesn't look. It doesn't look as I would. It doesn't look symmetrical. Looks like there's more material here than over here. Um, okay, so now what we're gonna do, it's pretty simple at this point. We're going to exit sketch, right? Actually, we're going to delete this sketch first. Click OK. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select this sketch, sketch number 5. We're going to edit that sketch, right? And we are going to mirror these entities, that sketch. So this point, um, this point, this point, this line, and this line, right? And we are going to mirror them about the midpoint. So it comes here to this area right here, right? We're going to click OK. And we are going to exit sketch. There you go. So now you have 2 of these guys. We don't want it to be as exact as in the photo because I think the photo is kind of distorting our image or our engine. So now we're just going to deviate away from the photo and we're going to select sketch number 6, right? We're going to edit that sketch and we're simply going to delete all of it, right? Delete everything that is in sketch number 6. So delete that. Right. Let me just select the whole thing and delete it. Right? So now what we're going to do next is we're going to select this part, the mirrored profile, right? So this point, hold control, this point, that spline, this line, right? So we selected everything that is in the bottom, and we're going to select convert entities. So now whatever was on that sketch is now on this sketch, right? So we're just moving things around. So now click OK. It's going to give us an error, right? Because it's telling us that that in plane 2, right? Okay, just click OK. So now the reason why that is because remember how our second reference point for plane number 2 is a point that is in there. So now it's no longer recognizing that point because it's gone and it's giving us an error. So now what we do is we are going to right click plane 2, edit feature, right? See? As you can see here, if you shift your eyes here, it says missing sketch point because that sketch point or that whole sketch is now gone. So now what we're going to do is we're going to delete that point and we're going to set a new reference, second reference. Select this and okay. There you go. So that's our plane number 2. Drag this down and we're good to go. Alright. So now, oh, also our plane number 4 is affected. So again, we do the same thing. We edit plane number 4 by pressing on it and then selecting edit feature. And then we are just going to select edit this out. We're going to do that and press OK. And there you go. We now have the same old planes, right? Okay, so now let's go to plane number 1. In plane number 1, press right click and we're going to sketch on it. Right, for plane number 1. Again, let's do the spline. So a 4-point spline. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oops, I don't think I pressed on it, so either ways, it just needs to be a 4-point spline. It doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be that in that form or in that shape, because either ways, it's still going to get pierced accordingly to the curves, right? So as you can see here, just as long as it has 4 points, right? So the first point we are going to get here, hold control, select the curve, and click pierce. Select the point, select the curve, hit pierce. Here, our point is somewhere here. Select the point, select the curve, hit pierce. Point, curve, and pierce. There you go. Now it looks much more uniform. Don't you think so? It looks much more symmetrical, right? It looks much more uniformly retarded. Alright, so now that's done. We're going to exit sketch. Right, so yeah, we're going to exit sketch. And then in plane number 2, we are going to sketch there. Oh, by the way, let's just hide sketch 8 so that it won't be in our way. And plane 1, hide it. Okay, so now we are sketching in plane number 2. Select spline again. Again, it doesn't matter. Oops, Control Z. Again, it doesn't matter how big your 4-point spline is, just as long as it has 4 points, right? Select this point here, select the curve, and pierce it, right? Select the point, select the curve, pierce. Select the point, select the curve, pierce. Select the point, select the curve, pierce. Now the thing here, and the point, so the point earlier was just one single point, right? But this time, on this particular plane, we have 2 curves, we have 2 lines. This line here, that line there, right? And the curve here on top. So now what we do there is we create another spline, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then complete it, right? It should look something like that. And again, we are going to select the point and selecting this line here and selecting pierce. Selecting this point and that line there, selecting pierce. Point, line, and then pierce. Point, line, and pierce. And there you go. That is our guide curves for later. So we're going to exit sketch, right? Hide this. And then we are going to hide plane number 2 as well. Now we're going to select plane number 3 and sketch on it. Create spline for a 4-point spline. 2, 3, 4. Again, create another 4-point spline for the inner layer. Okay. So now let's first do this. Select this point and select this line, right? And we pierce it. Right now we're doing the inner circle first, or the inner spline, 4-point spline. So we select this point and this line. Select pierce. This point and this curve. Select pierce. Point, curve, pierce. Point, curve, pierce. Oops, am I pressing the right thing? Point, curve, curve, and pierce. Point, curve, pierce. Yeah. Point, curve, pierce. And there you go. That is our guidelines number 3. Right? 1, 2, 3. Why does it have that? hide that. Select plane number 4. Oh, wait. So plane number 3 and plane number 4 have the same. So plane number 3 and plane number 4 have the same plane. So we're just going to select plane number 3, delete that. Oh no. So we just select plane number 4 and delete plane number 4 instead. Right, so it's going to delete plane feature number 5. So now what we do there is we are going to insert plane number 5 again since it was deleted. Pretty simple. Select first geometry. So reference could be plane number 3, right? And then our second reference would be the point here. Click OK. There you go. That's plane number 5. It says plane number 6 because, plane number 5 technically did exist before, so it's now counting from 5 to now 6. So now we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So remember how I said in the beginning that this is going to be a 5 plane? Yeah, I lied. So now this is going to be a 4 planes, right? We select on the 6th plane, and we are going to sketch on it, right? So select the 6th plane, sketch, and then just like before, create a 4-point spline right there, and then select the inner circle for the inner spline. There you go. So now we take this point, that curve, and we're going to pierce it. Select this point, select that curve, and then we pierce it. Alright, so sometimes it's going to give you this error for no intersection point found. It means that this point, or this curve, this line, is not intersecting our plane. To fix that, we are just going to select this line, sketch number 5, and we are going, first we exit sketch, right? So now we are going to select this curve here, and then as you can see, sketch number 5 is highlighted, so that means that is sketch number 5. We edit that sketch, all right, sketch number 5, by increasing it just by a little bit so that it hits the plane. Right? So we just want it to intersect the plane, but just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a full-blown like that. It's gonna be awkward. So there. We just want it to intersect a little bit. Alright, so let's go back to sketch number 11, start editing it again. Let's select this point here, and the outer curve there. Select pierce, and there you go. It's all in. Select that point there, select this curve here, select pierce. Again, it has the same problem as no intersection point. Right? So in order to fix that, what we're going to do is we're going to, again, select this, and it says here, sketch 3, it's highlighted. First, we exit sketch, go back to sketch 3, edit sketch, and just extend this backwards, right? By just a little bit. So that it intersects plane 5, or plane number 5. Right, so exit sketch, okay, and select this, go back to sketch number 11, start editing sketch, select this point, select that curve, select pierce. As you can see, it's now successful, right? It's now successful. We select this point and the outer curve there, select pierce, and there you go. That is our profile for the outer. Now for the inner, we select this point, select the inner curve, select pierce. Select this point here, select the inner curve, and select pierce. Select point here, select the inner curve there, pierce. Oops. Oh yeah, sometimes you get this trouble. It means that you selected it to be on the same line as the one before. In order to do that, we just select this and delete that point, right? And sometimes you get mixed. So that's what happens if you mix things. Just be sure that you are selecting the right curve, right? Because sometimes you see how it mixes in? Yeah, you don't want that. So you select this curve, or this point, select that curve specifically, and then select pierce. And now it's going to be successful. Select that point there, select this inner curve here. Make sure again that it is the inner curve that you are selecting and not other curves. And wait, what the hell did happen? It's not good. Wait, select that point there, select it here. Pierce. There you go. Exit sketch. And there you go. That's your last curve guides. Can you guys still see me? I'll just turn on my light. Yeah, it's apparently it's turning dark now. So hide this. And then we are going to show all of our sketches, right? So select all of them and then show. And there you go. That right there is the profile of our engine. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select the sketch number 1 and hide that. Right? And sketch number 4 and hide that. Basically all of our pictures, we're going to hide all of it. And we're going to keep this. So this is the profile of our engine. Right? It looks good. It looks similar to what an actual 737 actually have. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select lofted box base, right? Right click on the profile and click selection manager, right? The reason why you're doing this is so that you can select close profile beforehand. If you're going to select sketch, that's all right too. But I prefer doing that. I prefer going to selection manager so that I have control on what sort of line I am going to be selecting. So now I'm going to select the close profile. So select that. Okay. Right click there, selection manager. Let's put it here. Right. Selection manager. Oops. I just deleted it. Right. Selection manager. And there you go. So now that is our profiles. So now that we have profiles, let's select on the guide curves. Select this, and it automatically gives us that, right? Sketch number 3. Then now we are going to select sketch number this, right? Select this. We're just basically going to select all of the guide curves that we just did, all the circles, all the spline points, right? So select that, select this, okay. Select this, that. Select this. Yes. Okay. And there you go. That is our engine nacelle right there. But as you can see, it's not yet fully there. We want this to extend there, right? So in order for us to do that, we are going down and selecting, oh wait, what the hell? What just happened? What just happened? All right. We're going down and I'm selecting close loft. Once we select close loft, it's going to close it back to its origin, right? And select OK. Wait for it to load, and there you go. That is our engine nacelle. Right, so now let's just hide everything else. Hide all of this. And there you go. That right there is our engine nacelle, right? It doesn't look like the traditional engine nacelle wherein it's just a circle, because 737, like what I said before, it has a flat profile, right? So hopefully you guys learned something about this, right? Oh, and by the way, if you're going to see the intersection of this, right? Remember how I made that there? Like this little pocket over there? That is for the engine later on. right? So that we can have an easier time fixing our assembly. So this is just the nasal part, right? So that's good. So, and for this is just going to be the engine nacelle tutorial video. So I'll see you guys on the next video. I'll be doing the turbofan next, and then I'll be doing the low pressure turbines afterwards. All right. So hopefully you guys learned something, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.